I'm waiting for a call. I went out last night with this guy from Hinge, James, which is rare for me because men on Hinge aren't as interested like those on Grindr. They seem to be more put together. Grindr men just always have these blank profiles with the looking eyes emoji for hung now. Mind you, it's 11 in the morning. Now, we went out for drinks. We've been texting each other, and I've really enjoyed seeing him as a friend, though. But last night, we decided to seal the deal of our homosexual kinship, which meant going out in the cruising bars and still ending up with each other. It's alright. Now the cat's wearing off and I'm worried it's all weird. I've been trying to, not do that. But I was high and I just said, this feels good. This will not affect our relationship moving forward. And not even 6 hours later, I'm crashing out listening to Fiona Apple. Once my lover, now my friend? What? It's weird. We've made it weird. I could have said no. Go hook up with that twink tweaking out in the corner. But I insisted. I lured him in. And that's not to say I was the hottest one there. I was definitely the most malnourished one. But I don't know. I didn't want to think that I was pretty enough for a kiss. Yet, that's what happened. Things I thought I'd never do are so whimsy and flung around now, as if my body is a renewable source of energy. Bitch, no. I'm fucking oil. I'm slippery and messy, and men love to drain me. But I think it's fine. It's just fine. Hold on. If my parents could see me now, they were right about me, I can be thoughtless. I do like drugs. I lack financial literacy. And I can be wrong. Maybe I was wrong. But I have been trying. I have. I was trying with him, with Hinge Guy, to not be swept up in lust, not be so thoughtless. I don't know. I wanted to prove to their blind eyes that, yes, I can be loved, not just fucked. I'm not the male-centered friend that suffocates the friend group. I'm not desperate. Hey. How are you? No, it's okay. I honestly wake up so early, around like 7 a.m. And I'm a horrible snorer anyway, so I just rushed out of there. Yeah, I forgot I did that. You know what? I actually slept well. I actually had a dream that I robbed M&S. Like actually Mark and Spencer. They were very Bezos-coded, bald, and overly hinged to like match their ego, I'm assuming. But yeah, I just went into the house and stole the Monets. No, of course I'd take the paintings. They weren't actually appreciating art, just hoarding it. But yeah, anyway. I didn't think we'd end the night like that. Yeah, I thought you were gonna get with that guy, to be fair. Oh, you did get his number. Oh, yeah, he was fit, to be fair. You know what, I've actually got a really long day of nothing, so I will text you later. Okay? Cool. Okay, bye. loving, I say we're just friends. And I want to see you again and not mind waking up next to you. It's that reflex again. I mistake kneecaps as tongues instead of the stiff bones we shelter. I drape myself over him like an ill-fitting sweater, itchy and tight at the shoulders, with a horrible typeface design across the chest. Because the summer will go cold without a body to hold. Does he even notice how I want to hold his hands? Just to feel his softness shudder and recoil at the thought of trapezing our bodies through goalposts. I'm disgusted. I yearn to share tenderness with you, yet not for you. Am I that insecure, that insincere? It's that reflex again, where I replace breathing with labor and performance, and everyone claps. It's that breathing again when I'm covered in his wine. It's that emptiness again in my bed the next day.
Warning, flashing lights are in this production. This can induce seizures in people with epilepsy.
There is
Sexual and crude language
in this production.
It can make people horny. Please hold.
Life is easier for people pleasers. No confrontations, no rejection, just bliss. Obviously those people are the worst. But maybe they would know how to tell a boy that, yes, I did like your tongue in my mouth. But I want to be friends, yet still make out, but not as friends with benefits. I would like to know how to tell a boy that maybe I shouldn't kiss you at all, because I will develop infatuation for 2 weeks, and I'll be embarrassed. And then you won't know why I pull away when we hug. No one ever knows why I leave them, to be fair. Because I'm not honest. I'm not pathological. But it's easier to say, I'm leaving for uni, than it is to say, I cannot stand to be in the same room with you. Why try to take the time to speak when no one is listening? Just between us. Hold on. Just between us, I was seeing this guy who's really into degrading me. He'd call me a slut, tell me how to make me take it anywhere, and I found it really hot. So much that I ended up cheating for months. And I hate that. I hate that I'm no better than my dad. At least he was honest about it. I lied and said that I just didn't love him anymore. But I did. I just wanted to feel less so. And the other guy gave me that. He gave me something familiar. I ended up blocking my parents' number later that day. Mostly because my mom kept sending me gifts of Happy Tuesday, God loves you. Or a link to Jehovah can still love you for being gay as long as you're not gay. I blocked my dad's number too just because he never texted me anyway. I did message my sisters though, but she never responded. So I messaged whatever Tom, fuck his name is on Grindr. I wish you could see me in bed right now. He did not have to. I sent him a video 5 minutes into the combo. But I really have fallen off this whole degrading kink. Honestly, I've fallen off it all. But it's so hard to find that love and understanding alongside that sexual chemistry. Because chemistry tends to be just this one-night stand that you drag from the dance floor to a stranger's room. But I'm not complaining. I've got amazing friends that love and understand me, but we don't fuck. It might be easier. But it's because of them I've decided I can't fuck Hinge Boy again, James. Because if we fuck and he understands me, then Andrew, what's up? Ooh. No, I wasn't at Heaven last night, okay? You know, I would never go there. I went out to Dawson Superstore. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, no, I haven't seen you in ages. My room is a bit tidier now. No, I think you should come over. No, I'm not letting you spit in my face again. You smoke too much for that. Okay. I'll see you in a bit, okay? Bye. You know, he really does. It's all consuming. I dream about finding strangers in their cars, key in ignition set to drive. I watch them race into the red lights, passengers spread under desks and suit and tie in the back of my father's Mustang. Infantile system scanned by compulsive shame and the internet. Fallen on a strained knee, bone poking out. Men lack discipline yet with obedience of a minor. kiss the forehead to forego foreplay. Infatuation leads to fantasies. Rope bounds us to father-son roleplay. All consuming men devoured adolescents, spat out white phosphorus grown in moist crevices of a bedroom door. Fallen on a strained knee, bone poking out, rip it when it's ripe. Blue walls graze my eyes, graze the foreskin, gambled my mind. I'm left as a slug, tossed into stalk. I'm left as a spider beneath your foam. I'm left crawl in shame. It's okay to be a gosh, surrendered to bleed through dopamine. Crawl in shame. It's okay to be a gosh, surrendered to bleed through dopamine. There's no recovering. You know, I'd actually love to have the self-control to not eat a jar of pistachio cream in one sitting. Maybe the emotional intelligence to let go of books I've not read, and to be honest, I was never going to read them. I would want them to stop when I say stop. I never will have agency, you know. I actually found a empty wine box before I left home, stuffed with old report cards that called me difficult, my dad's old draft notice from the Salvadoran army, and my mom's real date of birth. She was a Capricorn this whole time. And co-star told me that my Mercury wouldn't appreciate how her Saturn is critical of my Mercury's ideas, yet we do really appreciate one another and we have good intentions for one another. Even if she tried to send me to conversion therapy, she meant it out of love. But I was being selfish when I told her to stay with him. My dad kept the draft notice because he said it was the one time that his father showed him true love by storming the camp and taking him back from the army. I wondered if he knew how it was agony without honesty. Being raised by a serial gaslighter felt like constant whiplash alongside the bout. See, that's why I like men. I don't expect sincerity from them. They take their turn with me, and they never look back. And that's honesty. But I just don't know what to do when they do look back. I don't know how to say, thank you for reading my book recommendation. You finally have a piece of me that isn't weight. And I won't know what to do when they give me a playlist. How do I hold their kindness without crushing it? Because I like being crushed. And I thought everyone else did too. Hello? Yeah, no, I'm fine, busy. Oh, okay. Wow, you've been busy too. Explains why you haven't texted me since that night. Okay. Well, what's up then? You're going on a gays night out and you want me to just be there for the bar tab? Oh, because you missed me as well. Henry, you don't even follow me on Instagram. Look, I'll come out, but just no nonsense, okay? No, like, shut up. You're not coming near me. Okay, if you insist. Okay, well, I'll see you soon then. Yes? Okay, bye. The traces of a touch are like my mother's authentic hands or pennies plucked out of dust. Spare change becomes a bill, enough to leave the trailer park to be surrounded by drones. I like the strike of a ball on a bat. My father mistook a doe as hope and made a bullet in its bones. I can't stop, unloading in his eyes. A gentle scar reflects in its tears. Its mouth gushes silk. Each hole a head rush at the local cruising bar. I'm giving you 5 minutes. In between the toss and turning of a bottle, they've given me 5 years. Doctor's diagnosis of more lights to my left, lights out, chair spun, snow-dusted iris enthralled. I laid my head on his shoulders, as to comfort my own. Give a dog a treat for no trick. They've given me 5 years. Doctor's diagnosis of more rights to my left. I'm giving him 5 minutes to violate evolution, strain my neck between warmth and motivation. They've given me 5 years. I saw myself flirting again. Like when my body was soft and all I was a crochet stranger, arms of cotton and polyester, riding the edge to weaken spine density trigger, the inflammatory spread flame on my face. I'm giving you 5 minutes. They've given me 5 months. Until the hyperurine bleeds my fist, slips off the handle into a head choke. Perhaps I could text you my will, so my body doesn't loom in the narrow pixels. I'm giving him 5 minutes. They've given me 5 times over the legal limit. They've given me 5 chances to mess it up over and over and over again. I'm a dog. I'm a stranger. I'm a dog. I'm a stranger. I'm laid on the road waiting for you to cover me. This won't be the only time I lick rust. This won't be the only time I lick rust. This won't be. She'd always insist on reading a verse before bed, no matter how exhausted we were. You know, it's ironic how my family fled war to the very people who destroyed their homes. How a pyramid scheme of pamphlets, doomsday, and Jesus fucking Christ to save us from war and death that they brought upon us. And you know what? It's even worse that we then believed them. I used to tell my dad about all the evil things America does. Commit war, fund genocide, push us down into the poverty line. And he'd laugh at me. He didn't understand my need to point these things out. But I'd insist we could change it. I would change it. Because the weapon sales of that murder innocent Palestinians isn't so different from the training of American and Salvadoran death squads that hurt him. And if he could understand that this pain is not so different, that the time hasn't changed, maybe he could understand that we would be able to change too. I could change. With or without him. But, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe I'm reading into it too much. But I think we're all just really gay. As I'm too happy with all this pain, because I find too much pleasure in these hookups because the day is radiating with microplastics and the tube is full of toxic fumes and I just want to change. You know what? I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna call him because I can't stand to be like this anymore. I can't stand to be this fucking annoying. Let me call him. Hey. No, I know, it's been a long time. But I really, really need to talk to you. I need to tell you about how this hurts. I've slept by the hospital, turned Auburn by the ambush, cradled in fetal position, warmed only by the top of knees, black disfigurement. Who contorted this baby boy? Cocooned against the face of a man with a breath that's killed kittens with mercy. Your belt would demand my arched back, demand saw in lime on purple lesions. Did you love this baby boy? At 21, am I still your baby? Supple and deaf, swinging in the front yard, feet walking on clouds just this once before the chain tricks my ankle, brings me down to my mother's bulging red, then purple, calloused at the heel, yellow foot. At 21, I want to be your baby. From the windowsill, a tree house would sway, and our eyes would meet between the cracks of wooden planks. From the windowsill, it would sway and crack the floor open to the earth, bringing sun to the world. From the windowsill, there was a tree house. From the windowsill, a bird could crack open to us and leave a pair of wings but no spine. Guilt admonishes how much I enjoy expulsion. Consciousness is not telepathic. Why try to demand I understand you? I don't understand you. I never understood you. In a city full of wandering stars and condensed with burning meteors, fossil fuel executives, girls with lasers, catboys with skirts following loosely behind. I'm wandering a path not my own, shared with niche Instagram accounts and David Bowie. Through the neon atoms, through Soho, through the Blue Ridge Mountains, through Amsterdam's canals, until we reach the canyon's edge. To fill the void sent by God. At 21, I want to be your baby. If the offer is still on the table. I was speaking to a friend the other day, and she asked me about this Hinge boy, James. Was I ever gonna get over him? And I realized I never really had any feelings for him. Just sort of this moment in my brain where it was all I could look at. Where my brain expected him to fill this void, to praise an unconditional love onto me. And I said, actually, I'm gonna give him a book, Ruby Fruit Jungle. It's told through this girl who is a bit unhinged, some casual incest, but very lesbian affairs. In a city that offers everything, yet nothing that she wants. I can't realize or remember if she figured everything out in the end, but she still loved the mother that hated her, inspired her even, right to the end. And so I decided I'll give it on to him, like a baton of some sort, and say, hey, this is something that opened my eyes, maybe it'll open yours. Because then I think I'd be less afraid of him to understand me. I'd be less afraid to be open. And I realized that this void that I expected him to fill, it was never shaped like any man, as much as I tried for it to be. You know what? It felt like my mother's fake Coach bags. It smelled like my dad after a shift on the fields. You know what? It even looked like my sister's stuffed rabbit with its eye hanging loose. And you know what? Sorry, I say that a lot. But that void was never gonna be filled. That void will still try to pull me in every day. And I'm a sucker if I believe that it will, because it's not shaped for me. It was never shaped as me. I'm not that void. Because this is a house of steps and steps and steps. This is not for sale. I mean, who would want a bruised parent anyway? Confused with an apple, bitten by a toddler. This is our fault. And it's 2 a.m. Why is there a bald man on my bed? This is the sanitized truth of why the carpet bleached, of why my skin don't tan, of why I wipe my fingerprints off the light switch for a third time. Yes, how sublime it is to leave without a trace. This is still love. Don't confuse my absence for a lack of it, but strength from our fight. No, I won't catch my flight because this is a bridge. This is a sanitized truth of why the carpet bleached, of why my skin don't tan, of why I wipe my fingerprints off the light switch. How sublime it is to leave for a third time without a trace. This is still love. Don't confuse my absence for a lack of it, but strength for my fight. No, I won't catch my flight because this is a bridge. Goodbye when you meant to say I love you, when you meant to apologize. A tug on my shoulder as goodbye when you meant to say I love you, when you meant to apologize. This is a house of steps. A tug on my shoulder as goodbye when you meant to say I love you, when you meant to apologize. This is a step, unlike the shape of a dream, a slope to the end. This is a step, unlike the shape of a dream, a slope to the end. This is a step. This is a house of steps. This is not for sale. This is our fault. This is a sanitized truth. This is still love. This is still love. backbone for this show. I love you three so much. And there's so much I want to say, but thank you everybody for coming tonight. So big round of applause for yourself. Also, we have a mold zine that I've made with a friend Casey and their publishing company Infinite Potentiality. And it's a very lovely collection of poetry, art, and I think that's mainly it. And some excerpts from writing. So if you want to have a copy of that with some excerpts from the script, they're $7.50. Thank you so much for coming, and I'll see you. Also, wait, oh my god, forgot the most important bit. There's an after party, okay? So now, you guys have to go there like as soon as possible, or else they're gonna charge me £300. So, Little Nan's Bar, and I'll be there at 9, hopefully.